Hi class, today we're going to do another standing wall choke. This time we're going to have a barrier behind you. Okay, so it's going to be a little different than a freestanding where you have the ability to move around to get behind or beside your opponent or attacker. Okay, so what I'm going to have my assistant do is put her hands on my shoulders just like we did for the freestanding here, and I'm going to use this punching bag as a barrier. So if I try to do the freestanding wall choke defense, I'm going to grab my head here and I'm going to try to tuck underneath. But when I do that, my attacker is going to push me against the wall. So I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not going to be able to leverage and get underneath her arm as easily. If I'm bigger and stronger, I might be able to, but the chances of my attacker being bigger and stronger than me is pretty high, pretty good. Okay? So what I need to do is I need to leverage and use my arm as a pry bar or a crowbar tool. So what I'm going to do here is she's choking me here in this position and I need to breathe. I'm going to bring one hand up over her arm. It doesn't matter which side you do. Okay, and I'm going to take my fist and I'm going to bring it down between her arms here like this. Okay, my fist is going to be underneath her opposite arm. I'm going to dip down as much as I can. This allows me to drop her center of gravity down a little bit, okay? And I'm gonna use my opposite hand, my left hand, and I'm gonna push my fist up and over, okay? To try to get out and get into a ready position or combat position. Here, I can go ahead and reach for my tools to defend myself properly against my attacker. Okay, so one more time. My partner's here, she's grabbing here. My hands are outside. I'm bringing one hand up. Okay, my right hand up, making a fist, bringing it down between both her arms, and I'm prying it underneath the opposite arm. Okay, I'm gonna sit down, and I'm gonna take my left hand and I'm gonna push up against my fist. At the same time, I'm gonna stand up, okay, and open her up here in this position. That'll give me the opportunity to squeeze past and get into a ready position to better defend myself. Hi class. Next we're gonna go and defend against the floor choke. Right? So we have a freestanding choke, no barrier behind you. We have a barrier behind you, standing choke, and now we have a floor choke. Alright? So I'm gonna have my assistant here help me demonstrate this. I'm gonna lay down on my back. I'm gonna be the victim. And she's gonna straddle right on top of me. Okay, right on top of me here. Alright. So this is probably a better position that you can see. She's gonna be putting her arms here on my shoulders to simulate a choke. And she's gonna put all her weight down on me. Okay? It's gonna be difficult for me to move away from this position to get out. Okay? I can't squeeze out, okay? I can't crowbar very well because I just can't move, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pretend that Emily here is gonna be a table, okay? She has 4 legs, 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? To knock a table over, you need to take out 2 legs on the same side, all right? So what I'm going to do is, as she's choking here, my priority is to breathe. I need to get out of this position. So I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to grab both of her wrists as tightly as I can. All right? And at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and trap one of her feet. Okay? One of her feet. So if you think of Emily as a table, she has 3 legs that are taken out. 1, 2, 3, and her 4th one's going to be able to stabilize. All right? So I'm going to bump, which means I'm going to bring my hips up as high as I can. To do so, I need my feet about hip width apart. Too wide makes it, doesn't give it enough power, and too narrow doesn't give enough power either. So I'm gonna have my feet about hip width apart. I'm gonna bump my hips up, okay? And I'm gonna roll to the side that I have trapped. So in this case, it's her front arm and her rear foot here. I'm gonna roll, and I'm gonna be in this dominant position. All right, one more time. Emily's gonna be on top, hands here on my shoulders, putting her entire body weight down here. I'm gonna grab her wrists, Okay, this prevents her from posting. So if I didn't grab her wrist and I try to roll her over, she'd just take her arm out and post. And then we'd have to start all over again. She could be striking me or doing whatever, okay, to attack me. But I'm gonna grab her wrist, okay, trap her foot with my foot. I'm gonna bump, bringing my hips up, and I'm gonna roll to that same side. Okay. From this position, I can strike, use her knees to stand up, hit to the groin, and then get into a self-defense ready position.